Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. I'm Beth. Today we're going to do a check-in on my journal planner stack for 2024. What am I still using? What have I given up on? Let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start with my daily planner, my daily bullet journal, my Ride or Die, and this year that is the Sterling Ink Common Planner. I do have it in this Galen leather cover. Not my favorite. If you've been here before, we've talked about this cover, and people here in the South ask me if I'm carrying my Bible around, and I'm not. This is my common planner. I don't keep a lot of journal cards and things here in my cover. I have a ruler. I have this that I use for tip-ins, and I have this little metal stencil that you've seen in every plan with me I've done this year if you've watched any of my videos. Here is my bullet journal key, my word of the year. There's a full setup of this planner, my bullet journal. I still use the bullet journal method within the Sterling Ink Common Planner, so keep that in mind. I do like having some of the preset things. This is my index, my goals. This is quarterly stuff, and of course there's 4 pages of this for quarterly things. Before we jump into the monthlies, I use my monthlies for memory keeping. So there's March, January, and February. And then vertical planning weeklies is new to me. Still working through them. I have a lot of plan with me's on the channel. Let me know in the comments below. Do you watch the plan with me's? Are they a yay? Are they a nay? Are they I catch them when I can? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a poll. Will I use the Sterling Ink Common Planner next year? I don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and find out. I've kind of fallen in love with the Toma River paper and the thin paper. I don't know if I'll do one that has the weeklies and the monthlies in them, and yet I might surprise myself. We just don't know. But we are still using this one. Let me get past all these weeklies back here to my daily pages. Like I said, I still use the bullet journal method in here. I'm also doing the 52 lists project. So my 52 lists projects are in here. I have taken notes on things. So like on this page, I've taken some notes for the Science of Well-Being from the Yale course. This was week 1. I do, in addition to my daily bullet journaling, keep some other things in here as well. But this is currently my Ride or Die. And we're going to move that out of the way and talk about my reading journal. This is my reading journal. There is also a setup video of this back in December, early January, somewhere there. I have a Grimm Brothers theme going for the year. And I have my preset pages with my index of what I've read, some trackers on what my goals are, some series things. Book of the month, I'm actually thinking about canceling book of the month for a little while. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. And then my reading for the year. This was January. The Grimm story I read in January was Sleeping Beauty, and then this is how I do my reading journal with just some information about the book, some quotes, and then how I felt about it. This is still going, still using the reading journal. Now, what I did do differently this year, one of the things that I did last year was starting at the back, going the opposite direction. I had first lines. I do like to write down the first line of every book that I read. It's just one of those things that I like to keep. And I decided to move that into more of a long-term collection where I can have multiple years of first lines in a single notebook. So that is the next one we're going to look at. And that is this beautiful dot grid notebook from Archer and Olive with the book on the front. I knew I was going to use it for something book related. Here we just have the first lines of what I have read so far this year. I haven't put in the first lines of anything I've read in April thus far, so I need to go ahead and add those in. I do create a header, so it's 2024, and then wherever 2025 lands, we'll create a new header and we'll put more first lines in. But I'm also using that one. Next up is my dream journal, and we're not going to look into this too deeply. When I set this up, I did mention that I probably would not show it on camera all that often because dreams are very, very personal. but I am using it. This is a 5-year journal from Hobonichi. I'm going to jump to the back so that I don't show anything I've already filled out already. The reason that I chose it is because not only does it have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 on each spread, but then it also has a full page of just the square grid in case you need to elaborate on anything that was over here. I do have some things set up about dreams and some other things in the back that I haven't really started populating yet. It'll be one of those things that I go back and look at my dreams and then come back in here and stick some indexing in about repeated people that are in my dreams, repeated themes that I have, repeated places, that kind of a thing. I also wrote in my intentions, and that way I can have this dream journal with me for a full 5 years. Now, what I have discovered in trying to be more active in recording my dreams, because I do have very vivid dreams, it is, according to my psychiatrist, part and parcel of living with bipolar disorder that we can lucid dream, that we have very vivid dreams, that we dream in color. I have learned in trying to record them more often, because I've never really tried to keep a dream journal before, is that most of the time I'm waking up from a dream at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and it is vivid at that moment. And sometimes I might get up and go to the restroom and come back to bed or whatnot. But if I don't take the time at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever time that is to still grab my phone and at least verbalize and dictate into my phone what that dream was about, if I go back to sleep and I wake up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, it's gone or it's hazy. So I do still use my phone. It's actually been several weeks since I've written a dream down in here, and I've had plenty of them. I've dreamt almost every night, but I've not been doing that thing where I grab my phone and at least sleepily dictate some kind of information into it. I need to get a little bit better about that. If I do actually turn on a light and start writing, then I'm up, and then I'm a miserable human being. Because that means the sedative for my bipolar medication is not worn off. Like, I didn't sleep it off. And if I'm up for the day at 3 or 4 o'clock, because I am not a morning person, but if I turn on a light and start writing, physically writing, then it wakes me up and I can't go back to sleep. But I can grab my phone in the dark, open my notes app, and I'll just say, like, January 31st dream, and that'll be my header on my Apple Notes app, and then I just dictate, and I don't even proofread it while I'm dictating it. So sometimes when I go back later in the week or later in the day to then transcribe what I want to put in here based on that note, sometimes it doesn't make any sense, or I have to try to decipher what my sleepy head was trying to say. I do like writing them down and remembering them, and sometimes you dream about weird things. Like, I had to go to a coworker and go, I had this weird ass dream that you and your husband and your daughter and wildly me were all sharing like an Airbnb, and you were obsessed with hating the paint color and you wanted to paint it yellow. Well, lo and behold, that coworker hates the color yellow. She would never have done that. I don't know why I dreamed about it. I very rarely dream about coworkers. It's like work and personal. I keep them out of my dreams. I don't dream about coworkers, and that was just hysterical that I had this bizarre dream about us sharing an Airbnb and her wanting to paint it yellow. It was dumb. Somebody analyze that one for me. What do you think that one means? Writing those things down so that we can remember them later and we can try to spot trends is a good thing for me, and I really like this Hobonichi 5-year journal. Highly, highly recommend this Hobonichi 5-year journal, mainly because it gives you extra space. So most 5-year journals will have, like this is September 5th, and they'll have 5 years here, and then it would say September 6th, and they would have 5 years here, and you don't have this extra page, but because it is the tome over paper and it's so thin, you get the day on one side, blank page on the other, and I just love that a lot. It is and only comes in the Japanese version, so I have no idea what any of these quotes say. Not a clue, and I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with that, then again, I highly recommend this 5-year journal. And I really recommend, now that I've tried it, using it for a dream journal. It's just fantastic. That's pretty much it, which means there's a casualty. And now I have to talk about the casualty. What has not made it through the first quarter of 2024 from my original plan. And sadly, even for me, I got soot on it. Like, that's part of like a match or a candle, who knows. This is what I was calling my discovery journal. And I love it. I love having set it up. So it's not about that. It's just about usage. So this started off with me wanting to learn some things about the Wheel of the Year, about the zodiac, about moon phases. It's also supposed to be a long form journal, at least like a page a day. And it was creative. I was using some more scrapbooky style things in here, some more stickers. Here's my zodiac page. Then I jumped into the winter solstice, and this was my reflection on the winter solstice and Yule. And I was writing all sorts of different directions and doing doodles and using some stencils. And then I started long form journaling, December 22nd, December 23rd, and I didn't make it very far. Here's my journal on the first full moon of this cycle, because I started this on the winter solstice for Yule so that I could do a full year of the Sabbats and also do a little bit of long form journaling. And this fell victim to pretty much the moment that my spine situation kicked in. So if you've been here for a hot minute, I have a weak spot between my C5 and my C6 vertebrae, which is in my neck. And I had to go through some physical therapy. It weighed into my production schedule here on Dots and Beyond, but it really weighed into me doing anything by hand, journaling by hand, because the movement of my shoulder was agony in that spot in my back. So even though it's better and I could just pick up and act like nothing happened, which I might do, just pick up where I left off back here. And I had set up for mid-January, and that's as far as I made it. I did experiment in my common planner when it came time for the vernal equinox and Ostara. Did I do anything beyond that? Oh yeah. So here I kind of did a vernal equinox spread, just some fun facts about the equinox, like some bucket list items, like going to see the El Castillo pyramid and watch the snake shadow come down the pyramid during the equinox. Some fun stuff that I could possibly do for spring, like create a balcony garden, do a thrift flea market wander day, which I've actually done. Where's my pen? Tongue. I live in Arkansas. We have this gorgeous Garvin Woodland Gardens down in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Put that on here. You know, just some stuff. And then some information about Ostara. And then I had my regular bullet journal stuff. And then I did a page on Aries here around March 21st to go ahead and get Aries in there. Of course, now we have already moved into as of tomorrow will be Taurus season. I haven't done a page for Taurus, but I did experiment putting some of my cats have gone nuts if y'all happen to hear anything in the background. But I did experiment taking some of the things that were in here and seeing if I just wanted to fold these informational learning pages into my regular journal. And I know that there are some people who really, really love my discovery journal, and I might pick it up. If you really want to see it, let me know in the comments below, or if you really just want me to continue to do that, but keeping it in my common planner, but still sharing those pages and how I'm doing those pages, I can do that as well. So just let me know. Maybe we'll revisit the discovery planner, but right now it definitively is a casualty of the health situation that I was in and my inability both to sit down for the longer period of time to do the more artsy things, plus that long form writing by hand. I just wasn't doing any long form journaling at that point because it was so painful. And then it was a month and a half or so before I felt like I could do it again, and I just didn't pick it back up. And therefore, it is the casualty at this particular point. So, will we see the Discovery Journal again? Maybe. If you really want to see it, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any idea how to get this off of this, is it linen? I think it's a linen cover. It's also textured, so this stuff is like sunk down into that texture. If you have any great ideas, because I've not really tried, except for the one swipe when I didn't know what it was. I just saw like a little black dot and I went whoosh and messed up this beautiful, beautiful moon cover from Notebook Therapy. But there you go. That is where my current planner stack lives. I always want to see what people's best intentions are and if they are still using all of the planners and notebooks that they say they're going to use at the beginning of a year, and if they're still using them or not. If you like this video and you want to see where we're at the half-year mark and see another update, again, let me know down in the comments below. Give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.